Okay, welcome back to the channel, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of our all-new mock building series, Building an Imperial Base. So if you caught episode 1, you might notice that we've extended the base plates here just by 2 because I felt like it would help elongate this area and make it feel a bit more organic and less crammed and help out with the scaling with the vehicles as well. So that was a decision we've already ended up making. And then another thing is these IKEA boxes in the back here. We're going to be using them. I might end up getting a few more, but they really help with mitigating some of those parts that you need to raise stuff. So it'll give us a good foundation for the base there. And what we're actually going to do today is do some rock work here and maybe do a little bit of water. So we're going to get to that and then we'll talk to you guys in a bit. Okay, so I got started on the rock face there and also started on this little swamp area. We still got to put all these trans blue pieces on to make it look a bit more like water instead of just plate. And then obviously we got to fill in the rest with some foliage afterwards, but I'm more so worried about getting started on the base and the foundation. And what I quickly realized is that I wanted this to be at least this tall so it would be scale with the walker here. So what that means is the base is going to have to be taller, and which means I'm actually going to go back to the store and pick up a few more of those and pick up a few smaller ones as well to cascade down, just so we don't have to use like 1,000 pieces just to build, you know, the kind of walkway that's going to come up. So I'm thinking I'm going to go to the Lego store and head over to IKEA and pick up some more of those. So I'll bring you guys along and then we'll get back to building in a couple days here. Okay, I'm back home now. We got pretty much everything I wanted to get. Is quite the haul, so I'm going to show you guys what we got. So first of all, we went to IKEA and got a few more of these boxes. So there's 3 in each box. I got 6 more, and I have no idea how to pronounce this, so I'm not even going to try, but those are the IKEA boxes. Super useful in the building of the terrain, obviously. We also went to the Lego store. I picked up one of these Stormtrooper mechs. I was going to take a few clips at the Lego store, the Powerball and everything, but it was just super busy, so I didn't. But we got one of these, and then we got a ton of parts here I'll show you in a sec. So if you guys didn't know, recently Lego moved away from the classic cup to a recyclable box, and it actually works out a little bit better, I find, because you can stack bricks like this perfectly in there and make like a big brick. So we spent a bunch of time stacking those. We also got a bunch of filler brick in here and tiles, and then a ton of these, which are going to be great for the terrain work. I actually ended up getting 2 boxes of green slopes like that, so super useful. And then we got a bunch of different tiles and other pieces there. Now actually the thing I'm most excited about was we went to a secondhand Lego retailer I have in my city here and picked up a bunch of used minifigs. So I'm gonna get these out of the bag here and I'll show you guys. So we ended up getting 5 more troopers to add to the rebel army here. So we picked up a couple of those Tantive 4 troopers, and I believe these 3 were all from a Hoth battle pack. Definitely the right price though, $3, you can't go wrong, right? So we picked those up. We also got a couple of these Imperial officers, which are gonna fit great into this build. And we had to pick up this Stormtrooper. It looks super cool, and believe it or not, it was literally the only one in the store, so we bought out their stock. And the little TIE fighter pilot there, and lastly a Death Star Trooper. Okay, so I went ahead and added those 10 minifigures into the armies here, which basically what I want to do is grow both these armies over the course of this project. And the only caveat to that is the fact that they're not really selling many of these minifigures from Lego right now, so I'm gonna have to acquire them from secondhand retailers or Facebook Marketplace and stuff, which kind of sucks, but at the same time it's sort of cool. It's kind of, I'm curious to see how many I can get over the course of this build. Anyways, now that we got our IKEA boxes, we can go ahead and put them together and then place them in the mock here. So I'm gonna get back to building and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. take a look at the micro build, as you can see, we're building this back section where the water is going to be cascading out of the bottom of the base and coming right out of this rock face. So that's going to be all covered up there, and then we're going to start plating off the base there. So definitely really happy with the way this looks anyways to begin with. For a first episode of building, I think that looks really sweet. Now, obviously, all this is going to be filled in with foliage and everything afterwards, but for today, I just want to get that done, and then for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be worrying about the base and obviously all the rock work. So for this build, unlike my last build, I want it to be really structurally sound, and I want to be able to put some weight on stuff without it crumpling. And in the last build, about halfway through the series, I had built up the base, and when I was putting some tiles on, the whole thing caved in. It was terrible. So I don't want that happening this time. What I've done here is I've anchored it to this wall and then to the boxes. I'm going to do a bit more anchoring. This is just sort of a prototype, but basically I want to be able to really put some weight on this stuff without it breaking. So that was definitely a lot of bricks to use, but it's well worth it. And as you can see here, all these IKEA boxes are definitely saving me a lot of parts. This build wouldn't be possible without these. I just don't have that many bricks. One thing I might change though is switching this. This looks pretty ugly here. So I might put these bricks on top and then plate it off with all gray. But yeah, definitely a nice look. Everything's going to sort of slant inward, and then it'll be plated off and hopefully very strong. Anyways, guys, this is going to wrap up episode 2 for us today. I'm happy we got some of those foundations in, and of course this swamp area is looking really cool. So I'm excited to get going on this build. In the coming weeks, we're going to get a ton more done, especially in this base. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.